I'm Leanne Shea, Aviation Week's Executive Editor for MRO and Business Aviation, and I'm here with James Pazzi, our MRO Editor for EMEA. We're in Hong Kong, and we just concluded the first day of AeroEngines Asia-Pacific. James, what stood out to you today?
Well, first we'll start with capacity, of course. Evergreen topic in this region, sheer demand for new engine types specifically, MRO services on those. So companies are always adding new capabilities, but also building up that shop capacity, which is so important. We've seen some of the numbers and how the sheer volume of shop visits that's expected over the next decade. Joint ventures has been a particularly common route that companies have gone down, usually quite OEM centric as well. Like an OEM will partner with an MRO or an airline MRO, airline affiliated MRO, sorry. So Rolls-Royce spoke today at the event, and they talked about some of their capacity needs. They've obviously just bought their shop in China online, in Beijing, Basel. Obviously there's Sazal in Singapore, which is growing capacity quite considerably in the volume of shop visits. And Hazel, of course, their joint venture with HAECO, Hong Kong-based company, as well. So certainly in the wide body there's a lot of demand, but also in the narrow body, and there's a consensus that maybe some further investment is needed in the narrow body side. We're not just talking about the overhaul shops and the kind of repairs on the engines, the modules, but also in the component repairs. It was cited as a lack of capability in the region for component repairs, and there needs to be a lot more investment in that across the whole broad portfolio, not just in Asia Pacific, it needs saying, but globally too. There needs to be a lot more investment in component MRO repairs. Demand is definitely not an issue in this region. The fleet is growing, MRO demand is increasing, and it will be robust for years to come. But engine scarcity was cited as one of the biggest challenges we're facing right now. Quite similar, I guess, to what we heard in North America last month in Tampa, of course, AeroEngines Americas. Engine scarcity and availability, that is challenging people. And of course, the shortage of materials and parts for these engines as well. And I think generally with the new engine types, there's a consensus now that industry has underestimated the long-term maintenance intensity of some of these engines. Some of those advantages, you think fuel savings would offset some of the costs related to things like maintenance and time on wing. The economics now long-term, the belief seems to be that it won't add up long-term, and it won't ever match maybe some of these previous engines that have served the industry so well. We're thinking the CFM56, the VT500 in the narrow body side, certainly.
I agree. The new engine, costs and just longevity is a hot topic today.
Absolutely.
And regionalization, that one came up a lot today too. Again, not a new topic, but geopolitics, the need for warehouses in the region, and if you have an AOG, having a part, it doesn't have to be necessarily next door, but having it closer in region. And then HAECO mentioned a few times wing to wing, so instead of just measuring engine shop time, airlines really think about, for the moment you take the engine off wing, get it through the maintenance cycle and then get it back on wing is really important. So looking at that whole life, that whole window of needs. And I'd also say here, USM, your serviceable material in China came up a few times since the CAC, the Chinese regulatory body, kind of approved that and made a very transparent system for use of used serviceable material. That's been rising.
It's getting traction in the region, it's growing. We didn't think we'd be saying that even 5 years ago, but the readiness or the acceptance of USM in China, it's really kind of snowballed in the last 5 years, and there's several reasons behind that. Cost is obviously one of them, and getting available parts and being open to this is a necessary thing. And I didn't think we would be saying that, as I mentioned, just 5 years ago. But
A lot has changed in the last
A
5
lot
years.
has changed indeed, yeah, absolutely.
Absolutely. Well, stay tuned here for more coverage of AeroEngines Asia-Pacific in the coming days. Thank you so much. Thanks, James.
Thanks.